have a microphone, we have video playing, do we have viewers? I don't know if we have viewers or not. I really dislike YouTube so much. Have I mentioned that lately? Brownie. Follow me and do exactly as you see. Dabby. Get over it. What's happening? Hi, everybody. Hi, Boo Bear. How's my boo? You're my beautiful baby. You're my beautiful baby. That's my boo. That's my boo. I'm just eating a brownie, buddy. No brownies for you. He licked the butter dish last night. He's doing just fine. He doesn't need any brownies today. When I make the brownies, I use a Pyrex cup to melt the butter with, the green butter, and he always licks that after I'm done with it. So he gets a very good dose. Now, I have not had a puff today. This looks like a good one. If you could see it, it looked like a good one, but it looks like a good one, trust me. And it smells amazing. This is my two most fragrant, fruity fragrant strains. I blended together the Nomo, which has this apricot kind of thing going on, and the Blueberry Headband, which is real sugary, sweet blueberry kind of smell. That was good. Okay, so look what I did. I prepared a fuck ton of videos for you guys. What's it say? It says, the terrorist threat level is rising because of the COVID-19. They're worried that the terrorists are going to see opportunities and take advantage of them. The fake fucking terrorist, that if there were any fucking fake fucking real terrorists, that they'd be out there already while the cops are fucking quivering in fear more than ever about, whatever. So the streets are empty. It'd be the easiest thing in the world to pull a fucking big old truck up full of shit and just make some bullshit happen. But oh yeah, the terrorist threat. The terrorists are coming to get you. If the COVID-19 doesn't get you, the terrorist will. That's the government that we have. That's the state-run media bullshit that we have today in the 21st century, when we could have peace and a beautiful paradise of a planet where there's no hungry people, because we're fucking so brilliant that we can feed the whole planet, no problem whatsoever. But no, the terrorists, the terrorists are coming to get us. We can't feed people. We have to spend trillions of dollars fighting the motherfucking terrorists. Aren't you people paying attention? Like the COVID-19 isn't enough fear. You gotta be afraid of the fucking terrorist. Don't forget about the motherfucking terrorist. How dare you people forget about the motherfucking terrorist? Okay? Who do you think you are? Those terrorists are coming for you and yours, and you better believe it. The only real question is, who are the real terrorists? Who train them? Who finance them? And why do we continue to allow it to happen over and over and over again, even though we can fucking clearly see what's going on? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, we don't have a telephone number up for whatever reason, Craig. So if you could put a telephone number up, that would be helpful. But the telephone number is 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. So whatever the fuck about the terrorist, just know the terrorist. Motherfucking terrorist. Terrorist. Oh yeah, and the COVID-19. Don't fucking forget it. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? If you're doing something, do it. Whatever you're doing, do it. Are you doing something?
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. Are you done with this?
Do your thing.
Are you done with that? Can I move it? Stop telling me what to do. Stop telling me what to do. I'll smoke as many dabs as I want to fucking smoke. You can count on that. That's what I do.
Michael. Are you there?
What?
Okay.
Are you talking to me? I can hear you. Are you talking to me? Oh, hold on. Hello, caller.
Hey, Michael, how you handling the quarantine?
Fucking terrorist.
Terrorist, terror. I got the goods on the terrorists, man. I've been doing my research over the fucking weekend. It ain't pretty.
It ain't pretty.
Nope. Definitely not good. So, yeah, I'm in quarantine too, man. I just about to beat the fuck out of my renters that keep running off and fucking off and then bringing their fucking AIDS home.
Oh, man.
Infect me. It's like, fuck that shit, man. Don't even come in my fucking house if you're gonna be irresponsible. That's the way I feel about it. I haven't laid into him yet. I'll probably yell at him later. And as soon as I see him, I'll tell him about it. But you know, it's like, dude, take it fucking seriously. I'm not getting sick so soon just because of you and your stupidity. And what's up with the rent? So take your dab, man, and you get your shit, your rig all hooked up. Oh, that's what you're doing. I'm on a 7-second delay. I see. You got that pen thing you're sticking in that fucking glass aperture. Now you put a fucking shot glass on top of it. I don't know what that's for, man.
It takes the heat in this thing right here, and it compresses the heat. So that instead of the heat going out the top, it becomes like an oven in there.
Oh, it's like a convection oven. It only goes one way, right into your lungs.
And
yeah, look at that monstrosity, dude. Boy, that's so complex. Oh, and I was thinking when I was planning on calling to remind you to take your vitamin D3. Don't yell at me, man. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you
I'm not
actually
taking your fucking pills, dude.
Say what?
I'm not. Go ahead. I mean, you can tell everybody else, but I'm not taking. I don't take those pills, man. I don't take any pills except for ibuprofen and Sudafed.
They're vitamins, man. It's a vitamin that your body produces.
Uh-huh.
And it's specifically designed for people that have lung conditions and they want to boost their immune functions in their entire body. That's what D3 is for. So since you have a lung condition, I don't know how bad or what it is, or some doctor told you something 20 years ago, I'm just recommending as a friend, go to Rite Aid and buy a bottle of D3. It's a liquid gel cap, and you take about 3-4 of those every day. And if you don't feel fucking better within 5 hours, or you feel some kind of a boost, I'll pay for it, man, because I swear by it. I swear by it.
Huh. Well, I'm always looking for something that would be an actual boost. I haven't actually found that substance in the vitamin store just yet.
It's a very subtle boost that you can. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to kick in if you take 3-4 pills. But you can take fucking 6-7 of them. 2,000 international units, 2,000 IU, and fuck. Damn, I mean, it's like, I swear by it, and so I recommend it to everybody, since we are living through the plague. So I found out about the plague, man. I found out, I told you I was going to dive into it.
Yes.
Okay, there was a doctor named Dr. Shi, S-H-I, Dr. Shi. She's a female from China. Got a government grants from the United States and from China, and was working at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill in 2015, and she was assisting in research into coronavirus.
Chapel Hill, 2013?
2015.
2015, okay, go ahead. Where's Chapel Hill?
North Carolina.
Okay.
And in 2015, the experiments they were working on created a hybrid version of the bat coronaviruses related to SARS, which is severe something respiratory syndrome, severe, I don't know, I forget what the ACE, SARS, the old one.
In North Carolina, they created it.
Yeah, a Chinese doctor, Chinese citizen, who was getting money from both the U.S. and China, and that's a whole separate story about how Chinese scientists infiltrated MIT and Harvard and other higher learning centers, and then absconded with some of the research. I'm sure you're on top of the. There was arrests at the end of last week, and there was people from the FBI were on TV saying, we've arrested this American doctor. I don't know his fucking name. I don't have that information in front of me, but everybody knows it. It happened Thursday, Friday, and it's on YouTube. We can talk about that tomorrow if you haven't heard about it yourself. Yeah, the FBI arrested an American doctor for, I guess he was giving away secrets. And so there's a whole separate story about how China infiltrated MIT and Harvard and other big money institutions. And so this chick, Dr. Shi, was at Chapel Hill University, North Carolina, and they fucked around with the SARS virus, which is a coronavirus, and they created a hybrid version. And there's all kinds of paperwork saying that there was a big, these scientists, they got their own papers and their own universities and their own clubs and websites where they talk back and forth. And there's all kinds of paperwork indicating that experiment that went on in 2015 triggered debate over lab variants with possible pandemic potential. And was it worth the risk? So it didn't go unnoticed. It was published in 2015 in Nature magazine, which is a weekly journal of science. Okay, so these great researchers I've been diving into did their job, and they went all the way back into the paperwork. They're not on YouTube. They went into the actual fucking paperwork, and they found that these experiments, which started in North Carolina and probably moved to Oh, fuck. I didn't write down the name of that one. I think it's in San Francisco. What's that biolab that they closed down in San Francisco?
I don't know.
Okay, but it probably moved there, and then it went to Wuhan, and there was an accidental escape in Wuhan. But they had already, even when it was in the United States, gained function. See, when you gain function over a virus, in order to keep the virus alive, you have to have some human cells in a petri dish. So they fucked around with the molecules or the genetics or something, and they tweaked the thing here and there, and they gained the function over it to increase its infectiousness. And then it escaped 4 years later, 4+ years, in the Wuhan level 4 lab, and here we are 3-4 months later with a global pandemic and a global economic butt fuck, which we're all getting fucked in the ass because this shit went on. So it's definitely a man-made virus. It was altered in the lab to gain function over it and to create increased infection rate, and it probably accidentally escaped from the Wuhan lab. I don't think it would be either in the Chinese government interests or the U.S. government interests to intentionally release it. But if you've been following the news, you know that the bigwigs, the lords, the House of Lords, all the motherfuckers in England are talking about and the European Union are talking about suing China for about $6.7 trillion. That happened within the last 2 days.
Yeah, I've seen him talking about suing China, which seems to be pretty big misdirection to me.
Why do you think it's a misdirection?
Because I think that this was created by the U.S. government, like you're saying.
Well, what I'm learning and what I'm trying to explain to you is that there wasn't enough oversight on these intercontinental fucking virologists and biologists. So a lot of Chinese scientists have worked in Canada and the United States in these different laboratories, these different universities, including MIT and Harvard and other ones. And nobody jumped on it. And you've got the arrest that happened that they were talking about 7 or 10 days ago about that chick that got stopped by customs, the Chinese scientists with live viral agents on her person boarding a plane from Canada to China. So at first, I thought that wasn't connected, but since it's the larger scenario is, Chinese can be pretty sneaky. One of the scientists was actually a member of the Chinese army. You got Chinese people stealing patents and all the, even Hollywood is for the last 5-10 years been cracking down on China for duplicating their movies and not giving the people that produce the movies their royalties because it's all stolen. So China doesn't seem to understand proprietary rights, and they don't have
copyright. Copyright is fucking bullshit, dude. Go ahead.
And they don't have Google in China, so in most places in China. They have it in Hong Kong, and they have it in a couple provinces, but most of those people don't get YouTube. They don't get the information we get. They can't Google things. They got their own fucking system. Craig would know more about that than I do. I'm not a computer guy. I'm a fucking caveman with a big stick, but I'm diving into this shit, and they gained function over this motherfucker. It accidentally was released, and now we're fucked in the ass. So, yeah, take your vitamin D3.
So you're saying that it was accidentally released by China?
As far as I can tell.
By China.
Right. I'm not, but what I'm saying is the actual work on the virus was done in America and originally in Chapel Hill in North Carolina with a Chinese scientist, a citizen of China, who was getting paid by both U.S. government grants and China at the same time. And so the bigger question, now that people are starting to learn this stuff, the bigger question is, why don't we stop this shit? Because look what happened.
Yes,
that's the big question for me.
Look, it's not even just a matter of stopping it. It's a matter of look, these people who believe it's okay to work on something like this, and there's still tens of thousands of people who believe it's okay to work on something like this because their fucking livelihood depends on it. Okay? Those people need to go to prison forever. Because those people are a danger to all of us, and there's something seriously wrong with them because they value the dollar not only more than your life, but more than their own family's lives.
And they killed 1 million people by fucking around in a lab with something that never should have been fucked with. That's genocide. Well, it's not genocide. It's mass murder. It's mass murder. So fuck them, fuck their labs, fuck the lack of government oversight, and fuck the cover-up story. The cover-up story was the penguins. It's perfectly safe to touch penguins. You can jerk a penguin off. You're not going to get COVID-19. You can go play with bats, and you're not going to get COVID-19. You could go play with pangolins, and you're not going to get COVID-19. That's the cover story. I argued with George Galloway. You wouldn't happen to know who George Galloway is?
Yeah, MP. MP
George
Galloway? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, the George Galloway.
Yeah.
I argued with him on Sunday, and he's stuck on the cover story. And I was trying to explain to him what I'm explaining to you, but he only gives me 2 minutes on his fucking show, and you'll give me a half a fucking hour. And he's, I don't normally watch George Galloway, but when I did watch him on Sunday, I think it was Sunday, maybe it was Saturday, I'm not sure. When I did watch him, he was just like fucking cutting everybody down. And it's like, I have to be right and you're wrong and don't argue with me. And it's like, dude, I understand you've done a lot of great things in your life. I didn't tell him this, but this is the way I feel. You've done a lot of great things in your life, but it's not fucking the mother of all fucking talk shows. It's like the George Galloway, I'm right 3-hour show. It's like, let somebody explain some fucking facts to you. But he just, it wasn't a good conversation. It only lasted 2 minutes, and he just poo-pooed me and went on to the next guy. But with you, I can explain the whole thing now that I've done a little bit of research. This is what I'm strongly leaning to, is that the information I just gave you, this Dr. Shi and this whole China infiltration of American universities and American biolabs and bicontinental biological experimentation, it should have been had the big eye of God on it for a decade. But now look where we are. Worldwide pandemic, a worldwide depression is coming, and they threw us some fucking little chunks of meat. If you jump through the hoops, you might get $1,200.
While they stole everything they could.
Right. So we're fucked, dude.
Look, I've been hearing people say we're fucked forever, man. Okay, and that to me is giving into the fear. Look, we'll see how fucked we are next month. And this is what I keep saying. Look, I said back in the day when everybody was freaking out, can you just hang on for 2 weeks? And here we are, 3 months later, and I'm just saying, look, we got through that. And everybody's pretty much, the same place they were, except for the fucking idiot mainstream media and the politicians have completely shut down our economy. So
and they control the narrative.
Yeah.
You're not going to see this on the mainstream news unless fucking Bernie Sanders gets up there and fucking beats somebody over the head with it, and he ain't gonna do that
Right.
because he's a
Why,
wussy.
why on earth? I mean, these fucking talking head newsreader prostitutes want to act like they're the smartest kids in the room, right? And yet they're not. They don't ask these questions. Why are there labs where things like this are produced? Why would someone be so stupid as to put the whole fucking entire population of humanity at risk? You know, and nobody asks that question. I don't see it being asked.
Yeah, well, the only answer to that question I can possibly think of is that Deep State and the CIA had their motherfucking fingers in the pie, and they knew what was going on, and it got away from them. They didn't, first of all, why would the CIA want to be developing this shit in the first place? I don't like the CIA. I don't like the fucking police. But you're right. These people should be thrown in jail, and that's
forever, till the end of their lives. Go ahead.
That's the last thing we're ever going to see. This narrative, which I'm diving into, and I think it's correct, and all these great doctors are jumping on it and telling me about it, it's never going to make it to the mainstream. You got YouTube channels being shut down right and left that are talking about this. You got to go on the weird alternative sites to get. Otherwise, they'll shut down your YouTube channel. Luke Rudowski got demonetized today. Other people are getting demonetized. I mean, they want to control the narrative. And that's what, it's like Goebbels, Joseph Goebbels in World War II. It's like control the fucking narrative, the Ministry of Propaganda. I don't think this story's going to get out. I'll give it another 2 years, and it'll never get on mainstream media. They control the motherfucking narrative. And the CIA, we know the CIA and the Deep State has their fingers in all kinds of shit that they shouldn't. Nobody should ever be developing this shit. You're going to have more than 1 million deaths worldwide. And you got these two fucking, I'm sure maybe, I don't know what you got lined up, but have you heard about those two French doctors that were talking about testing the vaccines in Africa and it made a big stink?
No.
Oh, fuck, you should get that clip, man.
Yeah, I'll go look at the French.
Because it made a big stink over the weekend. You got two French doctors who are obviously racist, and they're saying we should experiment on the African countries with our test vaccines. Apparently, they didn't come out and say it, but apparently Africans have a less of a value than Europeans. And I thought that. Yeah, I thought that sucked big time, and they caught a lot of flack for it. But yeah, you can't trust the government, man. Look what they did. They're supposed to watch out for us.
Yeah.
At least, if a meteor comes in and they don't have enough nuclear bombs to shoot the meteor before it hits Earth, I can understand that. But when you're fucking around in a laboratory, intentionally gaining function over a virus to make it more infectious, boop, boop, where's my Star Trek fucking warning signal? Boop, 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 boop. That's what you should have heard in 2015. They're trying to gain function and make a virus more infectious. What would you do that for? Only crazy people do that. John Lennon was right. We're ruled by crazy people who have crazy objectives. And, I'm pissed. But you know what? I'm thinking about improving my health a little bit and then just taking all the precautions.
I see so many more people out jogging right now than I've ever seen any time when I've been walking the dog. Ever.
Yeah, well, that's all the people that know they got to improve their health in order to get the virus and develop an immunity from it. Because if you have a weakened immune system, like Boris Johnson, they call him Bojo, he's on death's door right now. Boris Johnson, he's probably being incubated, which I hear is not very pleasant. I think they put a fucking tube all the way down into your fucking lungs. So I don't know, man. It's like,
Well, we should know in the next 2 days whether he's incubated or not. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, well, I don't know nothing about that, but no. If you're in a human body, you're susceptible. So take your vitamin D3, buddy, and I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna give you bad advice.
I'll look into it.
So so that's what I got. I'm pretty concerned about the level of duplicity, intrigue, insanity, and destruction. I'm pretty concerned about that because this is an unprecedented global event, and I think the Bat to Pangolin story is the cover-up story. And I tried to tell George
I think China is the cover-up story. As far as I just see these evil people that are like China, 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 and there's something, when they say Russia, 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 you have to go, hey, there's something not right about these people. It's like this government, every time it does something crooked, like fuck it, the 2016 election, they go, oh, it was the Russians that did it,
Right.
not us. And now it's like, oh, it's the Chinese, the Chinese virus. I just there's something there that's really, and now they're talking about suing China and all this stuff, and I fucking so don't trust these people in charge, man.
Yeah, well, in psychopathy, there's this principle, this tactic called DARVO. I think it stands for deny, avoid, reverse victim.
Right.
But everybody does it. If you're in the mafia, and I'm in the Gambisi family.
No. Donald Trump is a master of it.
Yeah. So we got multiple countries claiming to be victims and blaming it on the other guy, but there's people, really smart people, trying to figure out where it started, where it was developed, why is there unusual nuclei on the fucking virus when it's never happened before? Is it possible for it to go from a bat to a pangolin to a human and stuff like that? And so I think I'm giving you the skinny, the probably pretty correct information, and all these doctors, they're going to keep coming out with it, and I don't think, but the bigger narrative is the government narrative. That just squashes everybody, and it's not like the government is lying about everything. It is infectious, so they're not lying about that. There are ways to fight it, and they are organizing the fight against it, so they're not lying about that. I personally think, despite the fact that Trump lagged for, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month and a half, I don't know how much he lagged. Despite the fact that he lagged, he finally got on board, and he is doing something about it. So, but that doesn't make Trump Jesus. That doesn't make the Chinese president Jesus. That doesn't make any of the bad guys good guys. It means there was a big fuck up, and now the world is suffering, and we got to expose this and never let it happen again. And that's just one of the issues. You got, they killed the fucking Gulf, about 8-9 years ago with the fucking Deepwater oil disaster, still leaking. You got Hanover up in your neck of the woods. You got Fukushima over there. God knows how much shit they're dumping into the ocean. You got 30 fucking nuclear reactors in France, all of which are leaking, and they're actually passing out iodine pills to the French citizens, but you'll never hear it on TV. It's like, we can't talk about that. We have to talk about the Kardashians and fucking Tupac, and Michael Jackson. It's like, fuck. I don't know, man. It's like, I'm really on the side of the people, and I want people to be empowered. I want that little guy in the street to be so powerful that he can look a cop who's hassling him in the eye and say, man, you're acting like you're on drugs. Will you please stop harassing me? How many people actually got the balls to say that to a fucking cop? Not many. But we gotta stand up for ourselves.
I told a cop she had the prettiest mouth I've ever seen. You got the prettiest mouth I've ever seen. She said, "What did you say to me?"
Oh my God.
And my friend fucking stepped between us and said, "He didn't say anything, officer," and just pushed me away. I'm like, "I said I want to fuck your face, bitch."
Yeah, well, these are the kind of, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be polite to everybody, including the cops, but if a cop goes overboard, fucking, stand up for your rights, because they thrive off of fear. If I was a hothead, I know I sound like a hothead, but I'm really not. I was in the fucking hardware store the other day, and I hadn't been in there for weeks. Right? So I go in the goddamn hardware store, I buy my shit, and I go up in the line, and I'm fully aware there's a 6-foot, space you're supposed to leave. We're supposed to distance, public distancing or whatever you call it. But the little guy, 30-year-old in the hardware store, he says, first he started being polite, and then he said, "Sir, you have to get in line." I said, "I am in line." And he says, "No, we're doing social distancing." But he was like 3 feet from me, right? I said, "Hey man, you're in my space. Get out of my space." And then because I saw it as hypocrisy. If we're doing social distancing and we're supposed to be 6 foot apart, why the fuck are you inside my fucking aura, dude? You're 3 foot from me, and I'm not some child, And then he started. I didn't say that, but that was my mindset. I was polite, except I told him, "Hey man, you're in my space. Get out of my space. I'm like you. Don't tell me what to do, man. I am in line."
Yeah, no, I mean, I see this right here, buddy. This is fucking my space, and you need to get the fuck out of it, or you are null and void.
And then the motherfucker said, "Well, the line starts back there, and it's like 12 foot back, right? 12 foot. So, I'm just here to buy some stuff and leave. I don't want to beat the shit out of some punk-ass hardware store clerk." So
they seem to be having a really hard time of it, dude. They got to be more stressed out than your average human, I would think.
Yeah,
over this shit.
That was what I was thinking. Is that I'm looking at people's faces, and they're all stressed out and afraid, and the government narratives sunk into their brains, and it's like, "Oh, we're all gonna die, but I have to work," and "Oh my God," but they're not wearing masks, and some people are 3 feet from each other. "Hey man, where do I get the fucking socket wrenches, man?" So he started. He didn't even let up, and he said, "You're still not doing it right. Look, there's a line right there." And I guess they had put some fucking tape down on the floor that I didn't notice, right? Hadn't been in there for fucking weeks, and I'm supposed to psychically know that they don't have signs up, and this punk thought it was his job to ream me a new asshole because I told him to get out of my space. And it's like, I almost, I realized that he was afraid and the other people are afraid, and so I just backed up another 6 inches.
Yeah, well, I have a really good, one of my rules is that you don't argue with crazy people. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you don't want to do. They're like sticky. You don't want to get that shit on you, man. It's hard to get off.
Yeah, wrestling with a pig, the pig likes it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I embarrassed him in public or something, and maybe it was his specific job to make sure people are in line. Well, explain to me then. There's fucking tape on the floor, because I didn't see the fucking tape, and I'm 6 feet away from everybody until you come into my fucking space, dude. So it's no big deal, but little shit like that can piss me off for a day,
I mean, it's one of these things where you got to pick your battles too. I mean, every once in a while I have a neighbor come up, and they're like, "Your dogs can't be on my lawn," and I just laugh at them because they're so stupid,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got to pick your battles. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like all I can think is, man, this is like the stupidest reason I ever thought of to get shot. You fucking idiot. You better, just what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of fear. I'm watching people's faces. I'm kind of fluctuating between. See, because I'm thinking about like getting a regular job for a while. I've got a job offer. I can make $61,000 a year with the post office, right? So I'm thinking, fuck, maybe I'll take that job. I can grow my weed and I can make some bank, and all I got to do is keep myself healthy, and I, even if I get infected, nothing bad will happen, right? So I'm fluctuating between that and I'm going to stay cooped up in my house and grow my weed and record my songs and fucking live the hippie life. And but I'm thinking, fuck. But I'm seeing people not natural. They're a little bit on edge.
Oh, they're very on edge, dude.
Yeah.
The tension is reaching. I don't want to call it a boiling point because it's not to the boiling point yet. But you can see they're not. They don't handle this shit well.
Yeah. So there are psychological and emotional ramifications for a global shutdown. I'm talking to people in other countries. The Philippines is extending its lockdown. They're on a lockdown, not a shutdown, a lockdown.
Yeah, well, those people don't appreciate freedom. I don't even think they like the word. I bet you those people, the Filipinos, I bet you never ever use the word freedom.
They've been conquered by China, Spain, the United States, Japan. Those people have been, and maybe one other country, I can't remember which, but they've been fucked through the ringer for centuries, man. And there's been massacres and slaughters and rapes and AIDS and pornography and poverty in the Philippines, and that's why you got a dickhead like Duterte there. He's trying to fucking raise, he did one good thing. He called Obama a son of a whore. Remember that about 2, 3, 4 years ago?
Yeah, he said some shit about Trump recently too.
Oh, what did he say about Trump?
I'm gonna have to go search my page, but he said some shit about Trump.
Well, I think there was an Asian meeting of all the Asian countries, China, Korea, Philippines, Taiwan or Thailand, all those countries, and when Duterte, the president of the Philippines, said in Tagalog, the language they speak, Tagalog, he said in Tagalog that Obama was the son of a whore, and I'll beat him. And Obama skipped that meeting. He didn't show up. It's like, you insult my mom, I'm not going to show up. So.
Well, I would think that you'd have a whole lot more to say than that, if you're the most powerful guy in the world and you're taking shit off a little fucking petty fucking tyrant like that piece of fucking shit, when you got the loudest microphone in the world, then there's something fucking wrong with you, Obama, which is clearly obvious. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, well, as much as I hate Obama, it was kind of diplomatic. He did avoid a problem by not showing up. But I mean, what are you going to say if your mom was a fucking soft porn chick, Oh, my mom's not a whore, man. It's like, dude,
you say you don't talk about my mama like that, and let me make it real clear. And you fucking do, and you make sure that little piece of shit is pounded back into nothingness. Okay, you do not talk about my mom like that. Nobody gonna talk about my mom like that. And he's the most powerful man in the world with the most powerful microphone in the world. Come on, dude. And he's gonna take shit off that fucking little petty tyrant? Give me a fucking break.
Giant douche shit sandwich.
Yeah.
Obama's a giant douche and Duterte's a shit sandwich. So it's like, I would have done the same thing, because once you get into a fist fight in front of all the world leaders like that, it's like, what the fuck? So Duterte is a wild card for sure. But my point is, it kind of takes a strongman wild card to pull a country like the Philippines out of poverty. And I can't say yes or no if he's doing a great job, Duterte, but his people like him. I can tell you that much. And you know, he did join the One Belt One Road initiative, the Chinese initiative that Iran and I think Italy just joined, and
well, you'd be pretty stupid not to join it, really. I mean, unless you're fucking, you know, totally in bed with America, you know, the United States, then you. I mean, it's gonna be. It seems like, I don't know what's gonna happen now, but you know, a year ago it seemed like one of the best things you could be participating in almost.
Yeah. So you know, he's trying to be smart. He's a mayor and a police chief who was kind of thuggish, and he's trying to be smart. But his whole view on the drug issue is full of shit. Fuck that guy. You know, it's like, you don't get shot because you smoke a little weed. You know, fuck that shit.
Well, that's the whole thing. Look, I mean, there was a study done in the 70s. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. You might remember. Nixon, or I think the people before Nixon commissioned it, and then the study was finished during Nixon. And the study came out to say the best thing you can do for our society, United States, is to loosen restrictions on pornography and drugs and all vices, because this you know, imposing morality on people doesn't work. You know, and Nixon, of course, took that and threw it in the trash can and brought on the war on drugs, and you know. Here we are in the middle of a fucking never-ending police state nightmare. Go ahead.
In God we trust, Michael.
Yeah, fuck God.
We're a Christian nation, and we
got
to go to
God.
church. We got to wear a tie, the right color tie, and whatever you do, don't have holes in your jeans unless you're Madonna. Oh, and you know, don't kneel when they're playing the national anthem. That's anti-American. And so what you got is this ancient conservative base influencing the Beltway, which is Washington, D.C., and way after Nixon and that study you're talking about, you had Al Gore's dipshit Christian fuck-up wife trying to tell Dee Snider and Frank Zappa that their lyrics were anti-American or anti-Christian or immoral. So, yeah, I mean, and then you got Nancy fucking Reagan saying, just say no, this is your brain on drugs, da. So, you know, now everybody smokes weed out in the open pretty much. God help you if you can't do that, because I live in a place where I could light up a joint in front of a cop, man, and there's nothing he can do.
I've been doing that for more than 20 years in Seattle, and it's not that there's nothing they could do, it's that, you know, yeah, I literally have had a cop pull up to me while I'm smoking a joint on the fucking sidewalk in downtown Seattle and say, "Is that good weed?" And I said, "Dude, it's Seattle. It's all good weed here." And they drove off.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, yeah, man. So it's a divided world. It's a mixed bag. And people like you and me and all the other rebels, we're the real progressives. We might sound like assholes and we might look like hippies, but we're the real progressives. We're trying to push the world towards sanity. And right now, the number one issue, you know, in my book, is not marijuana. The number one issue is this goddamn biolab and why the hell they fucked up planet Earth like this, you know, and Fukushima and all those other issues, and the war machine. I mean, they're all, you know, the perpetual American war. This virus is just as important as that. No war, except World War II, shut down the planet, and even then, it created jobs. Now we can't even go to our fucking jobs because we're going to catch a cold, you know, and Grandma Moses might have a fucking heart attack, you know. Who the fuck knows? So, you know, these are major issues, and really everybody with half a brain should jump on it, investigate it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll in your underneath in your comments on your YouTube video, The chat won't accept it, but I'll put some video links right in the comments, and then people can see what I've been seeing, and they can decide for themselves. Because
all right, well, type what it is before you. I mean, when you put the link, so people know whether or not they want to click on the link.
Yeah, you want me to put a label on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'll tell them. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, man. So we're shit. I mean, then they might. I don't know anybody that's gotten a check yet. And if
they said, okay, so I saw right before I came on the air, there was a story on the local news that said checks may start coming out next week. The IRS says the first check should be coming out next week.
Well, in my case, since I didn't file taxes in 2018, I won't go too far back, but what I'm gonna do to get my direct deposit is to file my 2019 taxes, even if they're not correct, so that I can get my check. And if anybody doesn't pay taxes, that's the way to do it. They're probably just going to give you your check as a direct deposit if you file your 2019 taxes. And normally April 15th is the cutoff date, but since you want to get your check as soon as possible, I would recommend you go get your forms and send them in right away within the next 2-3 days. And they're probably going in alphabetical order, so your last name. My last name is Bravo, so I'll be one of the first ones to get it. But I don't understand how they can do that, because people are going to be going all over the place. But without filing your 2019 taxes, I don't think you can get it. So if you want to get some bank, $1,200 or whatever, file your fucking taxes, even if it's wrong, because they'll mail you the check before they figure out your tax return is wrong, and you got to file an amended return, So that's my 2 cents, man.
Right on. But, well, I guess I'm glad you got a chance to share it with us. I think all this stuff is, just better safe than sorry, and be smart, but don't buy into the fear. Just stay strong, keep moving forward, and we'll get through all this shit.
Yeah. Our grandparents lived through World War II and the Depression before that, and all the hippies lived through Vietnam, and that was I'm very proud of. I should be proud of the hippies that were out there protesting, all the students and stuff. But, in my book, all those fucking hippies pretty much sold out and turned into yuppies and gave up on the whole political process. They just want their houses and their mortgages and their jobs and, wife swapping, and, they take their prescription pills and the hissing of summer lawns and all that shit. So those guys sold out. I never sold out. I lived the life of a fucking rebel from day one. I was a little bit young for Vietnam, but I can respect what the young people did back then. Nowadays, and I respect all the Occupy Wall Street people too. So stand up, be smart. You need street smarts to deal with the fucking corrupt government. So don't be afraid to use street smarts in every fucking situation, because that's the biggest. George Galloway is pretty fond of talking about big pirates and little pirates. Like, we're the little pirates, all us little guys on the street, and we're doing a play for this and we're doing a play for that, and we got to do this deal and that deal. And then the big pirate is the fucking government, who comes in with their big fucking fists and grabs all our money. And by the way, I gave you AIDS too. Because we were fucking around in a lab. So, there's big pirates and little pirates, and I've always called myself a pirate. So be a pirate.
Hey, the pirate party. I
never knew what they were about. What are they about?
Copy. They're a lot about copyright. Copyright is a big issue with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll post that stuff in your links with the titles, Mike.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks a lot for calling and all the input, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad to hear you're still doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I smoke too much, but I'm doing good.
But listen, the mail job is a really hard job. I think it's very stressful, and I know that you're that you're eating enough marijuana now and everything, and that you handle stress a lot better than most people. But I think that after the anthrax attacks, after 9/11, I literally would tell every postman I saw that they were heroes and that they were very brave, and I didn't know how they went ahead and did the job that they do. So,
Yeah, well, I'll make up my mind on that. It's been so long since I was an actual citizen. It would almost be like a challenge. It would almost be like an acting job for me to pretend that I'm a normal citizen and make some money. It's like that's not the way I've been living for decades and decades. But
yeah, no, I couldn't imagine showing up for some kind of a regular job where there's like a boss and stuff you have to answer to.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it's kind of a government job, and it's the least sellout of all the government jobs. At least you're doing something, And we'll see. I might not even pursue it. I don't know. It's just I keep getting these emails, postal worker in my city, $61,000 wanted. So I'm, they keep bugging me. So
in your city?
Ojai, yeah, in Ojai.
That's like your yuppie little town that you talk about living in?
Yeah, new age fucking town.
Yeah, okay.
All the movies.
Well, that sounds like a nice place to deliver mail.
Yeah, I have no idea if I'd be the actual mailman, but no matter what I do, I want to do it to the best of my ability. So that's the challenge, is can I hold a straight job, as a fucking pirate revolutionary, that would be the challenge for me. I just want, no matter what I do, if I'm mowing a lawn or doing gardening for somebody, I want to do a good job. If I'm building them a waterfall, I want to do a good job, So, I don't know. It's just like, I've been doing what I'm doing for so long, and I don't make $60,000 a year. So, that would improve me financially during what I am.
You grow 200 10-foot tall plants, and you don't make $60,000 a year?
No, man, no.
Huh. Wow.
The price of weed is so down, and I'm not a salesman.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on mountains of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just not a good salesman. I can't sell anybody. I couldn't sell a toothless man toothpicks, So, or, however that goes. I'm just not a salesman. I don't sell people shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try to give somebody dying of emphysema oxygen mask, and he would think I'm trying to poison him, So, I don't know. But, no, 60, I try to keep myself poor on paper. For a reason, you know, and that reason's called the Internal Revenue Service. So, I just figured, well, maybe I might think about being a straight guy for a while, So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Okay. Take care, Mike.
Hey, okay. Good to talk to you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
That's our buddy Michael from Southern California. And he was talking about so much stuff, but I have a couple of videos that go with what he's saying. Like, he was talking about being at the grocery store and people talking about, social distancing and stuff. So this video says now is not a good time to go to the grocery store.
Back now as we brace for what could be the pandemic's worst week yet. Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx says now is not the time to go to the grocery store. Becky Worley has some tips on how to make sure the food you already have in the house lasts.
Sell by, use by, best by. Yeesh. These are all different ways that dates can be listed on food packaging. And many consumers confuse those terms for a hard expiration date and might throw out food before it's actually bad.
All the different dates by, those are all related to the food's quality and not its safety.
Experts like Consumer Reports' Amy Keating say now is the time to utilize our freezers. Keating helps us break down a few popular items. First up, eggs.
The date on the egg carton is not a live and die date. You don't need to throw the eggs out if it's past that date.
Keating says eggs will last in your fridge for 3 to 5 weeks after you purchase them. But if you aren't going to finish that carton in time, you can beat and freeze them in an airtight container for about a year. What about veggies? Many can be frozen, or for items like kale or spinach.
Once they're blanched, you can put them in your freezer.
To blanch some leafy produce, you drop it in boiling water for a short period and then transfer it to ice water to stop the cooking. Keating says it will then last 10 months when frozen. And for berries, Consumer Reports says remove the stems and place them in a paper towel-lined container to prevent them from getting moldy.
Just prior to eating them, wash them. Don't wash the whole batch and store them in the refrigerator. They're only going to spoil that much quicker.
As for that constant staple, bread,
You want to make sure that it's pre-sliced so that you're not thawing and refreezing it, and you're taking out exactly what you need.
and it will keep for up to 3 months. But Keating says if you are questioning if anything in your fridge is still safe to eat, there is one rule we should all live by. When in doubt, throw it out.
Now, another resource is the USDA Food Keeper app. It helps you know how long things can last in your fridge after you've brought them home. Even tells you items you can freeze that you may not have known about, like cheese and flour and even milk, Robin. Very handy information in a time when we're all trying to stay home.
That is so true, but you're right. When in doubt, throw it out, Becky. Thanks for that.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
You know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
All right. I love that. I cannot get that enough. That lady laughing at the end is just so beautiful. All right. So, Craig keeps asking me, do you get the fucking tiger clip? You get the fucking tiger clip. So, yes, I got the fucking tiger clip. So in case you don't know, fucking tiger tested positive for COVID-19. And Craig wanted me to play the fucking tiger clip, so I'm going to play the fucking tiger clip.
Now, we're going to turn to that tiger in an American zoo that just tested positive for coronavirus, the first known infection in an animal in the U.S. Will Reeve has the latest on this story. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Officials at the Bronx Zoo noticed the 4-year-old tiger Nadia with a cough and some other symptoms on March 27th, so they tested her, and that test came back positive for coronavirus. They tested her out of an abundance of caution, and the chief vet at the zoo was quick to say that humans and animals get a different test, so there was no competition for limited resources here. The test on Nadia the tiger was done at a USDA veterinary lab, and officials at the zoo and the USDA believe that Nadia contracted the virus from an infected asymptomatic staffer. That staffer is reportedly doing okay and recovering. Same with Nadia, but there are 6 other big cats, a couple tigers, a few lions at the Bronx Zoo who are displaying those same symptoms. Health officials say that there is no evidence that animals pass along the virus to humans, but the director of the Bronx Zoo says that any knowledge of the virus and how it's transmitted will be a resource for people, Michael.
Well, this does open up a lot of questions about the transmission, Will. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to go to you, Robin.
All right, I'm back. I had to get my key. I started the teapot when I went down for the first clip. And then it ended faster than I thought. But I was able to go back down and pour the tea and bring it back up. And Craig has another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. I was just tuning in looking up tiger clips. You're currently in the goddamn isolation here in the goddamn federal prisons operated by the goddamn feds. All their goddamn bullshit. This is Joe motherfucking Exotic.
Who?
Joe Exotic? Do you know who I am? Do you know who the fuck I am?
No.
Motherfucker?
No.
This is exclusive fucking interview. I got all kinds of fucking problems right now. I need to tell the world what the fuck is going on right now. This is Joe Exotic, the motherfucking Tiger King. You sons of bitches. I fucking tell you what, I'm fucking pissed the fuck off right the fuck now. Okay? I'm here in the goddamn fucking bullshit medical center here in Fort Worth. Supposedly, I don't even fucking know. I got fucking feds surrounding me. You ever know what it's like to be fucking surrounded by a bunch of goddamn feds? Some federales all the goddamn fucking time? You didn't do nothing? I didn't do shit, okay? I didn't do fucking shit. You know who did do some shit? It was that fucking goddamn bitch Carol. Everybody knows this shit right now, okay? I've been fucking trying to do good, okay? Here in the goddamn fucking world. You sons of bitches. You have to call everybody you fucking know. Everybody fucking listening right now. You gotta get on the motherfucking phone and tell your friends to call in and tune into this goddamn place right now. Whoever the fuck this is. I don't even know who the fuck this is, but they're cool with me. They like tigers. I fucking love tigers. It's clear that I fucking love tigers more than that fucking dumb fucking bitch, Carol. And I got a goddamn fucking army out there in the goddamn world. They are out there. They are ready to fight for tigers. They are fighting for tigers. Tony the Tiger. Yeah, we used to sing that back on the farm and shit with my boys and stuff. But I got a big public service announcement, goddammit. These sons of bitches. All these people, they're signing petitions for me currently.
Yes.
All these extremely famous people.
Nah.
Goddammit, we got Cardi B, we got Ellen DeGeneres, we got Michael Tyson, we got Michael Jackson, we got motherfucking Kimberly Kardashian. The goddamn shit's hit the fan. They need to pardon Trump. You need to pardon me right goddamn now and get me the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit if I got the goddamn coronavirus bullshit here in the goddamn medical center. There's a goddamn tiger out there that needs saving. There's a goddamn tiger. Sons of bitches. These I tell you what, the good Lord and shit and everything on the fucking... There's a tiger with motherfucking COVID-19. Okay? Carol's gonna end up with the goddamn tiger. She's gonna infect all of her goddamn tigers. I'm so goddamn pissed off right now. I can't even fucking believe it, Carol Baskins. I tell you what, when I get the fuck out of here, I'm gonna get with the fucking feds. Because they're in here. I've been telling them. That's all I talked about. Carol did it. She killed her fucking goddamn husband. You know how she did it? I'm telling you motherfuckers, I've been sitting in here in fucking jail with the COVID-19 and shit. You think the COVID-19's gonna kill fucking Joe Exotic, Tiger King, motherfucker? No, I've been fucking mauled by tigers and fucking lions and bears and fucking snakes and shit, rats, chickens, you know. I've even been bit by a fucking cobra that didn't have no venom in it. Had no venom in it. Venom in it. But I took it like a man. Shot him in the fucking goddamn forehead, but, you know, he bit me on the fucking arm. What? That's what he get. That's what he's getting. Tell you what, and when I get the fuck out of here, when I got all these people on my side, there's many more. There is many more Hollywood, extreme social, fucking people that are social distancing, currently worried about my fucking well-being. Okay? These sons of bitches need to get me the fuck out of here. And you know, I got the theory about how Carol. This is it. I realized this. Her husband bought Carol a fucking goddamn camel for her fucking 40th fucking goddamn birthday and shit. She had to take care of the stupid ass camel. And oh my God, I realized it. She done fucking put camel female pheromones on her husband. And then literally the fucking goddamn camel, she was like, you need to go feed the goddamn camel right now. Husband, son of a bitch. You need to motherfucking go feed the camel.
Eat your food, camel.
Right. And then it's insane. I realized what it is. He went in the goddamn camel cage, and then that son of a bitch just trampled his ass, fucking laid on top of him, humped the shit out of him until he was fucking dead. Humped him till he was fucking dead. Killed by camel, fucking humped by camel until he humped the fucking death out of him. This son of a bitch just that's what it. And then what she did was she tied a rope to him and shit with a piece of meat on the other side and fucking just drug it basically right into the tiger cage. And then that's how they ate that fucking motherfucker. That's it. That's how they fucking did it. That is it. Goddamn Carol, you're guilty. You bitch. There's no fucking evidence. But tune into that goddamn motherfucking series. And I tell you what, me and my buddies, you know, don't worry about we were on goddamn dope and shit and all bunch of bullshit and we fucking just went lunatic. Don't matter about that. I'm in jail either. Do not worry about none of that shit. Just understand we got Netflix on our side. Okay? We have Netflix on our side currently, and we're changing the world. We are changing the goddamn world for the positive fucking things in the world. The animals, everything. That's what we're doing. I need to get the fuck out of here because there's a goddamn tiger in New York City that needs me. There is a motherfucking tiger that needs me.
Okay, Joe.
You need to call the press.
Okay,
You
Joe.
and everybody that you know, you need to call the goddamn press.
All right, Joe.
This is Joe Exotic Tiger motherfucking King, sons of bitches.
All right, Joe. You stay strong, man.
You need to call these, because this prison smells like dog shit, and I don't deserve to be stuck in no goddamn cage.
I hear you. I hear you.
Are you hearing me right now?
Yes, we all hear you. All right, you stay strong.
You better call all your fucking goddamn friends, and you better tell them don't tune into this goddamn show, whoever the fuck it is. I don't know who the fuck this guy, who is this goddamn show anyway?
All right, Joe. Thanks a lot for calling.
What?
I said thanks for calling.
You don't ever hang up on the Joe. I fucking hang up on all the motherfuckers. I'm hanging up first.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Draw.
Thanks for calling.
Draw.
Bye. That was Joe the Tiger King, apparently, calling from prison, where he is surrounded by the zombie virus, apparently. Let's see. So, now I was talking before about the terrorist, but there was something else here that I was seeing. Oh, okay. The aircraft carrier commander that was fired by Donald Trump, and don't let anybody fucking put that on the acting Secretary of the Navy, because Donald Trump handed down that order to fire that aircraft carrier commander, because Donald Trump is a thin-skinned little bitch boy. That piece of shit acting Secretary of the Navy went on to speak with the people on that ship, the sailors on that ship, and went on to badmouth that commander in order to justify the bullshit firing of somebody who was just trying to protect his men, his sailors. So I want you guys to see that, because I thought that was pretty fucking important.
There are new developments tonight after that Navy captain was relieved of duty after sounding the alarm about the safety of his own sailors. The captain himself is now reportedly tested positive. And tonight, the acting Navy secretary who fired him, addressing the crew on the ship, describing their former captain as stupid. You can hear the shock from some of those sailors, and here's Martha Raddatz.
These are the videos posted by sailors from the Roosevelt just days ago, cheering in support of their departing captain, Brett Crozier, a scene causing a major embarrassment for the Navy, the acting Navy secretary who fired Crozier flying to Guam to address those same sailors. Thomas Modly's sometimes profane speech over the ship's public address system was recorded in one of the rooms and shared with a military-focused media site, Task and Purpose. Modly belittling the captain.
If he didn't think that information was going to get out into the public, then he was A, too naive or too stupid to be the commanding officer of a ship like this. What the?
Several times in the recording, you hear voices on the tape sounding disgusted with Modly's accusations, although he would not have heard them at the time.
It was betrayal. And I can tell you one other thing. Because he did that, he put it in the public forum, and it's now become a big controversy. So think about that. When you cheer the man off the ship who exposed you to that.
President Trump has been critical of Captain Crozier for writing that letter as well, but just a short time ago, he said he is going to look into all of this, saying the captain's career has been very good before this, and he doesn't want to destroy somebody for having a bad day. David?
Martha, thank you.
All right, so I thought that was really important. I think it's horrible that this guy who is trying to protect his sailors is being treated almost as if he's a criminal because, you know, this president was born with the golden spoon in his mouth and he has the thinnest skin of any person on the planet. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
I am good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I mean, like, how's your garden going?
I'm having I'm having trouble getting it started, but it's really close. I have pots right here. I'm really close. I have dirt on the other side of the camera.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I just want to go ahead and like, oh, okay, I see. Hold on. Okay, I got you back on my like cell phone speaker. Cause I wanted to try to see if I can go ahead and put you through my Bluetooth, but that didn't work.
Huh. Well, this speaker sounds pretty good.
Yeah. This speaker is actually the best for the show, so I'll go ahead and go through that one.
Right on. So what's happening?
Okay,
What's happening in Reno, Steven?
I actually didn't hear what you actually. You showed me the black bucket, but I didn't hear what you had to say about it.
Oh, I said that this is a nursery pot. This is to start seeds and stuff. I'm this close. I said I have pots right here and I have dirt on the other side of the camera.
Okay. Well, today I ended up taking multiple handful of seeds, and I ended up throwing them all over the backside of our shop, and we actually ended up planning on growing a whole bunch of stuff. I still need to go ahead and like rake out a little bit of a corner and stick a pallet in there. Because when I stick a pallet in there, hopefully if I put like maybe a few pot seeds, maybe the roots will go ahead and grow in between the pallets.
Right on. Sounds like a great plan, man.
I mean, like, things should be working out. I mean, like, tell you the truth. I've been like trying to figure out like about this whole like sickness thing, but like. Tell you the truth, my best friend ended up like catching all the symptoms, you know?
Oh yeah?
But I feel okay, and you know, I'm taking care of him.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you sound like a good friend.
Well, I mean, like, my only thing is like I feel like perfectly fine, you know?
Yeah, good.
Like I don't feel sick. I don't feel like achy or anything. Like normally.
Are you taking your temperature?
No, I mean, like, I could go do that right now, but like I don't feel abnormal at all. And normally I feel like discombobulated and always sick, and I always like I can't control my body temperature all the time. Like that's just my normal, okay? But the thing is like recently, like over this last week, I've been able to go ahead and keep pretty steady. Even though I haven't been really smoking a lot of weed and smoking a lot of, I haven't smoked a lot of weed. Yeah. And drinking beer. Like, I've been kind of light on a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man has got to have priorities, whatever they are.
I mean, like the whole quarantine thing, like they shut down everything. So the only time that you can actually get weed is no. I mean, like that's the problem. I can't get no weed. Like I need a house. I need a location to go ahead and have weed delivered.
Yeah.
Home address.
Oh, you don't have an address?
I'm homeless.
Can't have it delivered to your work?
I deliver for DoorDash. That's everywhere.
Oh, I thought you like did some kind of security work at some building.
Yeah. I don't plan on getting my weed delivered to my friend's security.
Well.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm very.
What about the house where you're at now with your sick friend?
Oh yeah, basically, I just ended up helping him move today. Like we just completely moved house for him today.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. Even though he's sick, we completely moved house.
Wow, that's a lot,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I know. He's on his second day of that corona and that like bullshit. And still, I just picked everything up for him, and we did it. We did it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, man.
Oh,
One
I'm
day is
sorry,
pretty.
Whisper.
Well,
Oh, Whisper, you'll be okay.
make sure and stay hydrated. You gotta drink a lot of fluids, man.
Yeah, tell you the truth, I'm perfectly okay. I mean, like, throughout the time that I ended up hanging out with my friend during this last week, because I don't know, I go out on expeditions to hang out with my friend. I just didn't know that. I did not know like how somebody can go ahead and turn in front of you. I mean, like, I'm joking that COVID-19, you can it looks like a zombie movie where you can see somebody just like turn right in front of you. It was like less than 6 hours, and I was scared for my friend, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna hang out for a day. I'm gonna make sure you're okay. Okay, well, he was okay, and to tell you the truth, I needed to go rest and I needed to go eat. So I did that, and then I called him, and he's like, I'm still out. I'm still out. And then I called him this morning, and he's like, okay, well, we just need to get this done. So I just helped him.
Right on. Sounds like you took care of business, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but the weird thing is that I don't feel sick.
Well, that's a good thing. It's not a weird thing. It's a good thing.
Well, I mean, like, normally with my fibromyalgia, I mean, like, well, I just bought pot today, I just bought some pot. But with all the pot shops closed, I actually had to go through, like, street dealers now.
Yeah.
Like the
How much
old
did you have
school
to
way,
pay?
like,
How much did you
hey,
pay?
Joe,
How much did you pay?
yeah, how much you paying? You got a bag for me,
How much did you pay?
$60 for less than an eighth.
Wow.
I know.
That's a
I
lot of
know.
money, man.
Although he claimed it was White Widow, the best of the best.
Well, it's good to have, you know, stoners.
No,
Stoners always like
that.
having the best weed they can get.
Yeah, I know. Hey, tell you the truth, that was robbery, but I do plan on growing my own because I do not want to get robbed no more.
Well, you should look at a couple of websites. You should type into, there's all these really good forum boards, like message boards, and you should find one that you like and look through it because you're going to have a ton of questions, and those people are very good about answering questions if you find the right one.
There's this one person that I'm actually subscribed to. He's this grower that actually does all these reviews.
Uh-huh.
Dang it, Volko. Okay, I'm just figuring out how to work YouTube now. I mean, like, on the computer, and tell you the truth, like, yeah. I'm not gonna go ahead and try to figure out YouTube right now on the computer. That is something else. I used to go ahead and work on it during like on my phone because that's when I ended up like starting my whole like Google account, but I couldn't actually deal with it because I got like over 5,000 videos on the watch later list, and then I got like a whole nother list, and you know how that shit goes on YouTube.
Okay. So
Yeah.
are you now that you got your friend moved, you're not working, you're not delivering any food right now, huh?
Oh, I did not drive today. I drove yesterday. I made like $100 in 4 hours.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like the whole like $60
So you've been taking care
for
of
like.
somebody who's COVID-19 positive, and then you go out and deliver food to people?
No, actually, I ended up helping him. Actually, I went delivering and then I went to go see him. Bloody hell.
Okay.
You know, he ended up giving me a call and he's like, hey, come on over. And, you know, I told him, okay, hey, I just ended up delivering that like $100, you know, I worked for 4 hours. How are you doing? You know, and I ended up figuring out how he was. So I didn't actually end up delivering any food, and I don't plan to over this next like week, because I normally end up taking like weeks off.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's
I
cool to have
like,
that option, man. That's a pretty cool option.
well, yeah, I mean, like, it's a choice on my end, but I mean, like, the president's asking me to go ahead and just stay home and smoke weed. And I'm trying to, and once this money ends up rolling through, I'll do that a lot more. Yeah.
Right on. Well, that's a good plan. I highly recommend that plan. I would go with that too.
Oh, and I also end up having like PPE. You know, you gotta have like personal protective equipment. I have that N95 mask that everyone ends up like talking about, where you know it protects 95% of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have that P100 mask that does that 99.97% of everything in the air. Like, it doesn't even care if it's germs. It's like even chemicals.
Well, that's good
Full
that you
face
have
mask
masks.
too.
I mean, it could become a requirement, you know, to go out and do stuff. So it's good that you have them.
No, I mean, like, I got that full fucking gas mask from like World War II. You know, the full like face mask, gas mask, the whole 9 yards. I plan on actually buying some extra filters this week. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
I know, Loco. P100 does not protect others, but it does protect me.
Well, so are you what's the weather like there? Is it nice?
We just had one frost yesterday. We're gonna have another one tonight, and I just threw hundreds and hundreds of poppy seeds everywhere.
Cool. That should be pretty.
So yeah, so it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna go ahead and start growing everything.
You can make a good tea out of poppies if you got the right kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can. That's definitely what I plan on doing with them.
Awesome. That seems like a very good plan, Steve, and I'm glad to hear you're working on shit like that.
Oh yeah, and I legitimately am getting my computer desk, or basically in my security building, I just ended up getting this hardwood oak desk in there like a couple hours ago, to where it used to be my friend's TV stand, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be using it as like a computer desk, to where I can actually either play video games on it, or, I can actually work there.
Yeah, right on. I just got a Xbox for my friend so I could play video games if I feel like it. There's only one I want to play. I have this remastered version of Halo 1, the very first one, and I just love the campaign on that game, and I can play it on the new Xbox. So he said he got the Xbox for like $10. I don't know. He always says shit like that, but whatever. So yeah. I got an Xbox sitting in the corner over there waiting for me to hook up. I already had the game.
I did want to go ahead and respond to Andrea in the chat.
Oh, is Mitchell
You
here?
definitely.
Hey, Mitchell,
Yeah,
what's up?
I definitely want to go ahead and tell you, you definitely want to go ahead and make sure if you buy those seeds, you need to make sure that the husk is included. You got to see that husk in there, because that way you know it's the real deal.
There you go, Mitchell. All right, Steven, anything else?
I'll go ahead and keep you updated. Basically, the White House ended up saying that anyone who has COVID-19, no matter what, homeless, broke, it doesn't matter, they can go to the hospital and they will be treated and they will not have to pay 1 cent, period, because the federal government will take care of their bill.
You bet they will.
And they should definitely go ahead and build China for that.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some real shit with China here very soon. Don't worry.
I hope. I mean, hey, tell you the truth, we should definitely reclaim all the houses and land that they ended up buying from the United States and then build them again. And hey, Mike, I will never buy a Chinese product ever again in my life.
I think it's a very good idea to buy American. Okay, I think that's I took a furniture store 20 years ago, and I changed it from all this foreign shit to all American made, mom and pops, little fucking craftsmen from around the fucking country. And I love the idea of buying American, but it doesn't seem to work. So or at least that was my experience. But I think it's a very good plan if you can make it happen.
Okay. Anyways, hey, I'll go ahead and talk to you later, okay?
Yeah, you stay strong, and like I said, be sure and stay hydrated, okay?
Yeah, I'm perfectly. Yeah, I'm doing awesome. I mean, the thing is that I have a question. Like, if I cannot tell the symptoms between my fibromyalgia, and I cannot tell the symptoms between COVID-19, I don't understand.
Just look, just take care of yourself and stay hydrated, dude. And try and protect yourself. Stay safe and keep others safe. Okay?
I am. I mean, look, I do not want to take my best friend's business down with this sickness. I am 100% washing my hands, doing all that, social distancing, tell you the truth, I've always ended up being British, so, we always end up, not liking to stand too close to each other.
Okay.
I don't know, something about British society. But, hey, we'll go ahead and talk to you later, okay?
Okay, Steven, glad to hear you're doing good. Keep up the good work, man.
Hey, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
And that's our buddy Steven from Reno. Pretty sure he's still in Reno. Sounds like he's got that same job. But he got seeds planted. That is freaking awesome, dude. That's very good. I'm glad to hear you're planting seeds. I see people gardening. When we go out walking, that's probably the main activity that we see people doing is gardening everywhere, which I love. For more reasons than one. But I love nature. I love the earth. I love seeing people interact with the earth and nature and make something cool happen. I think that's a beautiful thing. So, I have the terrorist video, and I think you should see the terrorist video because the terrorists are coming, and the terrorists don't care. Just like the COVID-19. If you're not afraid enough of the fucking COVID-19, the terrorist, don't fucking forget it, the fucking terrorist. God damn it. How many fucking times do I gotta tell you, motherfucking terrorist?
New at 6, the coronavirus outbreak could lead to an increased threat for homegrown terrorism, with the pandemic giving a window of opportunity to extremists.
In tonight's Spotlight on America, Josie Sturman explains how isolation and social media could be fueling radicalization.
We heard a shot, then we heard another shot, then we heard a bam, 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 bam.
A sleepy Missouri storage facility back to normal after a shootout 2 weeks ago between the FBI and an alleged domestic terrorist.
And we just got up and looked out the window, and they were right over there.
Agents came here to arrest a known anti-government extremist they say was picking up parts for a supposed car bomb attack he was planning at a local hospital. It's a plot the FBI says he had been planning for months, but accelerated because of the coronavirus crisis.
There's a growing threat that cartels, criminals, terrorists, and other malign actors will try to exploit the situation for their own gain, and we must not let that happen.
But national security experts say the threat is already out there.
The potential for sort of what are traditionally considered domestic terrorism groups, sort of anti-government or nationalist, sort of white supremacy type groups, is certainly increasing.
Garrett Graff is a Harvard-educated journalist and author who's written extensively about national security. He says the widespread fears of a government or economic meltdown as a result of this crisis can be a mobilizer for many groups.
Why does this scenario fuel that sort of movement?
What we're seeing is a moment in time in our politics and our economy that in many ways is, the type of thing that sort of survivalists and anti-national government groups have long warned about.
And now may see as a window of opportunity. The Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks hate groups nationwide, tells Spotlight on America it's no surprise extremist groups are using this pandemic to push their own narratives of societal collapse and aid in their own recruitment. Experts say social media can be a powerful tool in those efforts, as potential extremists are isolated and may go down the online rabbit holes where dangerous rhetoric is spread and recruitment takes place. That's why the SPLC called on social media companies to take precautions to prevent the spread of extremist rhetoric.
Does social media become a major player in radicalizing some people who otherwise may have stayed out of it?
The threat in many ways is the same. What we are seeing, I think, is decreasing the length of time radicalization takes.
The good news, counterterrorism officials say they're still very much on the job.
Because our criminal and national security adversaries sure aren't going to take a day off, whether that's for the coronavirus or, for that matter, anything else.
And with the 25th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing approaching, Graff says national security officials are keeping a keen eye out for the next anti-government extremist who wants to make a statement, this time in the midst of the coronavirus crisis. I'm Josie Sturman for Spotlight on America.
Graff says that in most cases, potential extremists generally aren't radicalized only online. The process is often driven by someone they have contact with in person.
So, again, I want to be clear. The reason that I wanted to bring this clip up is because what I see in this clip is that the powers that be that are trying to get you people to be afraid. Right? Fear, fear, fear. As I've been saying, don't buy into the fear. Don't buy into the fear. The people that are trying to get you afraid, the people who feel like somehow they feed on that, they thrive on it, the more afraid you are, the better off they are. Those people see that the coronavirus fear may not be working as thoroughly as they want it to. I see a lot of agitated, I see a lot of tension, but I also see a lot of people out walking around in the sun and living their life and kind of just trying to do a normal human thing and that's not what they want. They want you sheltered in place. Stay at home, right? Stay at home, stay safe. The aliens will not attack. I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, what the hell was I going to name that video? I couldn't remember. And now I remember. It was like I was thinking about this movie, Bird Box, or Bird in a Box, or I think it's called Bird Box. Do you guys see that movie? And it's like, oh, this monster. Oh, there's this horrible monster. And you have to walk around with blindfolds, because if you see the monster, you go crazy. And and you never see the monster in the movie, These people with the terrorists, as if you don't have enough to be worried about already, right? As if you don't have enough tension, or maybe you're just doing too good a job of fighting the stress and the tension and the fear, and they just can't accept that. So don't forget the motherfucking terrorist. This is what I see in the media. This is what I see in the government. Working hand in hand again to just make it even worse than they already are making it, right? These people have literally ruined the economy, right? To me, it's fairly obvious that this virus seems to be a weaponized thing. Which means it was created in a lab, and I think honestly, with the White House repeatedly and the people in the media repeatedly trying to blame China as if somehow China was careless and something got out of the bottle, some genie got out of the bottle. Number one, again, Russia. The terrorists. Reefer madness. This is who the media is. And now the media is saying China. Okay. But regardless, It's the fear thing, man. Again, this is what I've been saying from the beginning, from way before there was anybody ever heard of COVID-19. It's like, don't buy into the fear. The terrorist. Don't buy into it. And here we are now, and you guys are being too strong or something. You're actually trying to live your life in the middle of a plague, and the powers that be are somehow threatened by that. So they have to get out this story about the terrorists. Oh, we have to make sure that they know how dangerous those streets are. You do not belong out on those streets. The terrorists could be everywhere. They are. They're everywhere. The terrorists are everywhere. Yet, you buying it yet? Right? And this is where we are with our government. This is where we are with everything, with the media, with the police, it's all bullshit, and it comes back to this again and again, that all the people that the pillars of our community, right, what hold our community up and in place, the pillars of our community are completely filled with shit, right? So, the media, is completely full of shit. The politicians, are completely full of shit. The for-profit medical industrial complex has done nothing but steer us wrong for multiple generations, right? We all know that, right? Better life through chemicals, right? The police. The police are like professional liars. The religions. The religions we've seen again and again outed as not what they portray themselves as, as some kind of bastion for love and brotherhood. So, all there really is is your neighbors, is each other, is us coming together. And they've got us all with this label factory, man, just stabbing labels on everything we can so that we know what that is and why there's a perfectly good reason for ignoring that person. That's one of those. It's one of those motherfuckers with the label on it. Remember, we put that label on it. That's who they are. That's all we really need to know. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. It benefits you in no way, or the world in general. And we bought wholeheartedly into it, so that we're all so separated out. And now we have to fucking social distance, right? So that's where we're at today. And don't forget the motherfucking terrorist. That's all I'm saying. Terrorist. Don't for one goddamn second forget the motherfucking terrorists are out there and they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you just to relax for one fucking second. And when you do, they're gonna come for you and yours. And don't forget it. The motherfucking terrorist. Oh yeah. And then we have the illegals.
Most Latin American countries have closed their borders to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. But deportation flights from the US continue to arrive in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Experts worry the flights could export the virus to these poor and ill-prepared Central American countries.
Think about it. In the detention centers, before they deport people, people are crowded together, often in big rooms with bunk beds. After that, they're put on aircraft, which are very enclosed spaces with recirculated air, and then they drop them in countries with some of the weakest public health systems in the hemisphere. This is super dangerous.
Guatemala says two returned citizens have tested positive after the U.S. deported them. Guatemalan officials suspect the deportees contracted the virus while in ICE custody. By Monday, the three Northern Triangle countries had over 400 confirmed cases combined.
If one flight has 2 cases to a country, that increases the overall percentage in that country by quite a bit. Very few ventilators or ICU beds. So even just a small increase in cases could be catastrophic.
ICE told Newsy that prior to boarding, the Guatemalan men who later tested positive neither had a temperature nor presented symptoms. The agency says it screens all detainees for fever and other symptoms before removal flights. Those with symptoms are denied boarding. But advocates say that's not enough.
They are not testing people. They are just taking their temperature. If that were enough, you could just take your temperature right now and before you went to a bar or restaurant and you'd be fine. It's not enough.
The Guatemalan government has asked the Trump administration to halt deportation flights during the crisis. But for now, the U.S. continues to fly deportees back to Central America. Separately, ICE has been bringing home hundreds of stranded Americans on the return legs of removal flights.
In the middle of the flight, they told us that that plane was used to take deportees to El Salvador.
We've just been getting more and more nervous given she has type 2 diabetes and history of heart issues, among other things.
Sofia Chale is grateful to the U.S. government for bringing her mother home. But she says the fact that the U.S. is using deportation flights to bring citizens home is concerning. ICE told Newsy that its employees remove passenger trash prior to boarding stranded citizens.
And then what was the process of actually cleaning the plane? Were they tested? I guess now that you think about it, because, the medical care received, you see the reports from the immigrants, immigrant detention camps,
they're horrible. But anyway, I'm glad that I'm here with my kids.
And her grandkids.
Yes.
Ben Chamiso, Newsy, Chicago.
There's my beautiful baby down by the river. I can't stop with this terrorist thing. it's just so obvious, the fear thing, you know, and it just feeds on itself so bad. If they were to have an event now, it would just be so fucked up, you know. But in my own personal opinion, after studying this shit for, you know, after studying on this on YouTube for more than 15 years, you know, there is no terrorist threat. You know, the border has been wide open with 4-year-olds walking undetected across it for the last 20 years, since 9/11, after 9/11 for 20 years. And you know, which means if 4-year-olds can walk across, so can terrorists, right? So the terrorist threat is far overblown, and this is the whole thing, you know. This is, you know, why are we doing this war if there's no real terrorist threat? This is a war on terror, you know. Why are we doing this war? Clearly to make fucking assholes who already have way too fucking much money, like, you know, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, even more fucking filthy rich than they ever imagined they could be. You know, Liz Cheney in Congress, who can't wait to vote to spend more fucking money on more fucking military shit. And exactly projects just like bioweapons. You know, this is how the bioweapon things happen, right? This is how people think, oh, you know what? We can, all that matters is money. Right? So they see billions of dollars and billions, hundreds, and trillions. After 9/11, trillions and trillions of dollars to be made. Not that they weren't doing this before 9/11. But then they go, oh, man, look, you know, we have this amazing idea that we can make these things happen. You know, and this bio-warfare, and you know, we're going to have to stay on top of it, because, you know, the Russians are all over this, and the Iranians are all over this, and the Chinese love this shit, you know, and they start building these fucking labs everywhere, you know. You know, we have to come together in order so that we can focus on what really matters. We have to reprioritize everything in this moment to go, this is what really matters. Every single lab like this around the world must shut down immediately. They must shut down immediately. And those that do not willingly shut down will be drone striked. Drone striked with extreme prejudice. Blown back into the motherfucking Stone Age. Burn it with fire. Hello, caller.
Hi, Mike. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing good. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing great. You know that tomorrow night is the super pink moon?
I heard that there was going to be a super pink moon tomorrow.
Cool. Well, anyways, that might be an optimistic clip for tomorrow to distract people away from reality, looking at the full moon. It is going to be tomorrow, and it looks like it's going to be a big one. And I like the full moon. I might take the night off from computer and just eat some mushrooms, make a fire, and stare at the moon.
Well, that sounds like a really nice option, man.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think it sounds like a nice option, man. I mean, I wouldn't be productive or anything, but, it might be good for my mental health.
There's productive and then there's productive.
True. Mushrooms and acid help empty the mind as well. And it's good to do that. It's like trash out. Press the little button on the trash can and stuff is kind of emptied out of your mind.
Yeah, and, I saw John Waters. I have an interview with him somewhere. I'm having trouble finding it, but he was saying he was encouraging. He's a director from. He's made a lot of movies, but he was encouraging 70-year-olds and seniors to drop acid or eat mushrooms again, and the way he described it was in order to clean out those cobwebs.
Yeah,
I mean, you said something about cleaning house. That's the reason I brought it up.
No, it's a great. I agree with you completely. I'm not like pushing acid or pushing mushrooms, but personally,
Yeah, but if you're 65, 70 years old, what the hell? Why not? Unless you're taking a bunch of other medications, then you want to be careful.
No, I'm an advocate of people taking psychoactives. I think every adult should have the opportunity, not be forced to, like a vaccination, not vaccine, but everybody should have the opportunity to take psychoactives at least once in their lifetime, I believe firmly. And after that, I think that having it be a regular part of your life once every couple of years or more frequently if you desire, but I think that's constructive. So I think Steve Jobs and a lot of other really productive people frequently took acid.
Well, Steve Jobs is famously quoted as saying that LSD was one of the most important experiences of his lifetime.
Yeah, even fucking Al Gore admitted to dropping LSD. Right? Is that right?
I'm not sure.
He went to a Grateful Dead show.
Yeah.
He hung out. He went to a Dead show. That kind of is usually a giveaway when you say that to the press. I went to a Dead show.
Yeah, it's kind of cliche.
Okay.
It's pretty cliche.
It certainly is a cliche. I saw the title of your program tonight about the bioweapons labs, and there was a link that if you could pull it up on the screen, I think that your viewers would appreciate it. And I'll tell you what the link is before you do it. It's at Asia Times, which is a Hong Kong newspaper, and the article is called "Biosecurity in Question at U.S. Germ Labs." And then the subtitle is "Biosafety Level 4 Labs are in the spotlight as speculation swirls that COVID-19 may have emerged from such a facility." And if you scroll down that article, you will see a map. And the map is sourced from Science Magazine in 2007, and it's from the sunshineproject.org. And then it shows with a map of the United States where these various bioweapons labs are located from level 1 to level 4 and the various types of research that they do for U.S. biodefense program.
Let's see, biosecurity in question at U.S. Germ Labs. Biosafety level 4 labs in the spotlight as speculation swirls that COVID-19 may have emerged from such facilities.
Exactly. And in that article, down that page, there's this map that says protection or proliferation, high containment labs, and other facilities of U.S. biodefense program. And this map highlights how it isn't just Fort Detrick in Maryland outside of D.C. or outside of Baltimore, or a lab like at Hanford or a lab outside of Stanford in California, but these labs are all over the United States. Just to put it in context, people working with this material that they could use for a bioterror attack. The article also, if you scroll through it, kind of gives you a history of U.S. bioweapons programs, including how the labs were developed, how they were used after 9/11, and the amount of labs, where they're located. Talks about the anthrax scares after 2001 and their relationship with these labs, and so on and so forth. But I wanted to show that map and provide so that other readers could see the link. If they want to take the time to read the article has many, many links throughout it highlighting the history of U.S. bioweapons programs. Okay. Yeah, Mike?
Yeah, I think look, this is what the most important thing is, you know. I mean, is that if there are it doesn't even matter what country they're being produced in, obviously, if there are facilities like this working on things like the COVID-19 and things much worse than the COVID-19, those places need to be locked up and fucking destroyed in whatever the safest manner possible, as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and it affects us even if they don't release the thing intentionally. If they don't release the weapon intentionally, like this excerpt from the article says, other violations include contractors finding a leak in a sewer line in '95, 30 meters from a steam sterilization plant where wastewater of deadly pathogens from 50 laboratories on the base is treated. Maryland officials investigated Fort Detrick in 1992 for hazardous waste disposal violations by exploding chemicals with grenades, sloppy safety habits caused by anthrax leaks from the labs in 2002 and in 2009, plus 9,200 plus vials were discovered to be undocumented in the inventory. And I have heard other reports, it might have been from Redacted tonight, but I've seen other reports on the internet that there's really high rates of disease near these bioweapons labs that could be associated with their waste. So they could be making the community around the bioweapons lab sick, like this excerpt from the Asia Times article is talking about. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know how anyone could want to have something like that in their backyard or, you know, anywhere on the planet.
Yeah, and this is our tax dollars, Mike, right?
Right.
These are our tax dollars working for us. Like, we're spending money trying to develop weapons that we could use in a really specific, strategic situation to murder people. Just like the nuclear weapons upgrade. Obama approved the nuclear weapons upgrade. Trump is also on board with the nuclear weapons upgrade. I don't know the numbers, but it is like hundreds of billions of dollars or trillions of dollars to upgrade our nuclear arsenal. And what are we spending that money for? I mean, how many fucking nuclear weapons do we need? And how frequently do we need to upgrade our nuclear arsenal?
I'm so tired of our limited resources being spent in such a short-sighted, selfish fucking manner. You know, it's like there's no future. Let's just spend all this money on this fucking shit right now, on this garbage.
I have a tendency to. I mean, like I said, with this COVID-19, I've like tried to keep as open of a mind as absolutely possible, and that includes like the allegations that this was planned as like Event 201, like Andrea Mitchell was mentioning in chat, or that it was planned by military intelligence or acted through with the Central Intelligence Agency, which like Mike mentioned earlier. And I am keeping that very much like a possibility in my mind as something that could be real, but there are a lot of conflicting narratives, and there's also some misinformation out there. So it's going to be like all of these events, the Kennedy assassination, the events surrounding 9/11, and so on and so forth. It's going to be difficult to come to a determinate like conclusion. This is actually what happened, because the water has already been muddied. And that was like what I noted last week when I shared that excerpt from the New York Times with you, talking about the CIA's interpretation of events that are occurring inside of China, but being quoted by like the New York Times as this is the truth. So there's going to be a lot of that rhetoric surrounding the origins of COVID-19. It'll be hard to determine what is and isn't real, by design.
Of course it is. I mean, this is almost what the mainstream media in the United States seems to be built for. You know, is to misinform.
It is designed to misinform us, and as Wolko and others have noted in chat, the police state like takes advantage of every situation to promote its own power and to push its own agenda. And there is a civil libertarian who wrote an article today about civil liberties at Mid Press News His name is John Whitehead. And I was really fortunate. 8 years ago, I had a chance to listen to John Whitehead give a presentation at the Community College in Olympia. He wrote a book about the police state in the United States. And let's see if I can find the title of the book. It's like it's Battlefield America, War on the American People. And I think he used to be like a Washington Post reporter or a Washington Times reporter. And other readers might find this article interesting about the extent of police state and how police state will be extended. It is kind of vague. It's a commentary. It's just commentary. He's not giving like examples, but it is a cited article, and other people might find that interesting if they're concerned about civil liberties and Bill of Rights. Anyway, John Whitehead. I also wanted to say I found a couple things, Mike, about General Strike. There's this organization in Jackson, Mississippi called Cooperation Jackson. And anybody who Googles Cooperation Jackson can find out what I'm talking about. They have called for a general strike on May 1st, a nationwide general strike. And that is the call to action from Cooperation Jackson. And there is on Twitter a hashtag general strike, which is really weird as far as I'm concerned, because I've participated in comment boards over the last 15 years, Mike. And when anybody makes a developed argument for a general strike, I have literally seen posts disappear from commentary just by putting those two words together. So I'm kind of surprised that you can go online and find people calling for a general strike on May 1st.
And what is it? I mean, are they calling for people to go into the streets or just stay home and not do anything? Or I mean, what does a general strike look like amidst a plague?
Exactly. So people have different demands that they're making. And I don't know if you Google or if you search for Cooperation Jackson, you'll find out what their specific demands are. These demands at hashtag general strike say this: our demands on the Congress are clear economic concepts people understand. We try our best to stay away from cultural and identity politics and divisiveness. 1, Medicare for all, single-payer Medicare. If the crisis has shown us anything, millions of unemployed lost their insurance with their jobs. 2, $1,200 payments for 12 months for everyone. This money will go directly back into the economy. 3, unemployment insurance for 12 months, including for gig and contract workers. 4, rent forgiveness for 6 months with money to bail out one rental-only landlords, not corporate landlords, for 6 months. 5, forgive student debt. 6, raise the minimum wage to $20 per hour. Once again, most of the economy will go directly back into the economy. 7, Green New Deal, which is an infrastructure project, which is what the Green Party wanted and what the Democrats kind of in a mealy-mouthed way tried to get, but they really weren't very interested in a Green New Deal. But anyway, the idea is infrastructure. That's the 7th thing. I've also seen like mortgage strikes. I mean, people encouraging people like to not pay their mortgage, maybe to like renegotiate better terms for their mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opportunity where people can make their argument, and if they can make their argument in common with other people, and they tell us to go back to work, we can say no. People are not going to go back to work, and in fact, try to encourage other people who are working to stop working until we receive accountability from our politicians and they start actually fucking listening to us instead of telling us that it's a Democrat or it's a Republican that's at fault when it's their own fucking fault. So it's holding them accountable by not giving them our labor and shutting down the economy. It's the first step to, changing the government.
I still don't understand what it'll look like. I mean, it seems like we're almost in a general strike at the moment,
We're almost in a general strike right now, but what I've seen for long-term projections of the economy, I've seen like up to maybe 32% unemployment by August. That's a forecast that I've seen. I've seen economic growth, negative economic growth. Obviously, we're in a recession. But the idea is when they demand that these people come back to work by saying that it's over, if they don't go back to work and they withhold their labor, that is going to have a bigger impact on the corporations. Fucking shut Amazon down, shut Walmart down, shut down the large corporate retailers. So on, don't participate in the economy.
I think this is something that I keep saying. I mean, this is the power that we have, and now more than ever, we should be able to see that we are all connected, and if we would just come together, we can. I mean, right now, I think it's limited what we will make happen. But if we were to go, back to, if there was the economy was somehow to start back up, like this flu was the end, then I think the people saying no, we're going, we will help you rebuild it, but you have to listen to what we want, and it needs to be rebuilt the way we want, and we need to be included in it being rebuilt. We want a goddamn 21st century infrastructure, damn it.
Well, I think this is starting to play out like maybe it did in 2009, right? Remember in 2009, we bailed out the banks, and we bailed out large corporations, we bailed out insurance companies, the U.S. government did. And very, very slowly, the workforce kind of gradually crawled back to where they were about a month ago. Now, all of those gains have been lost. We're back to that spot where we were. It's just a game. And if we realize that we're being played by suckers, because what's going to happen after this round is they're just going to grab more assets, right? 30% unemployment, what does that fucking mean? It means that people are going to sell all of their assets. They're not going to have any assets at the end of this. All of their property, whatever meager property they have, will be lost.
Yeah,
It'll be gobbled up.
Yeah, I already see it happening. I see advertisements on television that are like, "Oh, look at this thing that you've saved and worked for your whole life, and now when you need money, we can give you money." And I'm like, "Oh my God," But I see it all the time. I see, people like Kevin Hart and Sam Jackson, encouraging black people to get credit cards and go into debt. And it's just so ugly, man. It's like they never fucking heard the song, "Oh, my soul to the company store." And they have. And they know what it means. And yet they help fucking make that shit happen.
Well, that's for people who can get a second or third mortgage on their house, I mean, that's going to be an option for some people. 40% or 50% of Americans are renters in big cities. They don't have that kind of property.
Yeah.
So whatever meager assets they have, their 401ks or their retirement plans or their little stash of silver coins, whatever the fuck they have for assets, that will be liquidated for those people to live. Then when those assets are gone, they are going to be in the same position as the homeless people that many of them have made fun of and ridiculed for the past 5 years. I find that to be a little fucking ironic, by the way. And hopefully, when we all are leveled and everyone's wealth is leveled, there will be an opportunity for people to say, where are we going to focus our anger towards? And it shouldn't be towards Republicans and Democrats. It should be towards the rich.
As I've said again and again, it's the rich who own the Republicans and the Democrats. It's the rich who want us to have these endless wars based on lies. It's the rich who want, the full of shit medical industrial complex, for-profit medical industrial complex. It's the rich who want the, marijuana to be illegal. Now I guess they must want it legal, but forever, they wanted it illegal. I really still think they overwhelmingly want it illegal because they love that power that they can hold over people, where if you fuck up, they can make sure you go to jail,
There still are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people arrested for cannabis around the United States. So, like, Stephen was talking about his gardening project, and I wish him the best. I really do. But I hope he uses a little bit of camouflage and, is kind of clever about it so that if he's in a non-legal state. That's the only advice I would ever give to anyone just trying to do that.
No, Nevada is legal. But I don't know if it's legal to grow or not, but it's definitely, they definitely have rec stores now.
I'm sorry. I mistook Stephen for Steve McClanahan.
Yeah, oh no. No. Very different people.
Right. Sorry, Stephen James. My bad. And anyway, my faux pas. But other than that, other than those things, I'm doing fine. I had a great day today. It was sunny. I had a chance to just turn everything off and just sit down, and I heard all of these birds it's been so quiet that the birds are just really loud, and you can hear them much more clearly than you could like 3 weeks ago. And I like the birds, so that was nice.
I love the birds. That's one of my favorite things about gardening in the backyard, is that every once in a while you'll hear one off in the distance,
Well, my time is going to be up here at my house probably in the next month or 6 weeks, so I might not be calling as frequently in a month and a half. And that's also how I'm spending my time, is like tying up all of my loose ends.
Well, you'll figure that out. I mean, it's you'll get through it, man. You're strong. Yeah. You make shit happen.
I am, man. I'm finding lots of places. Like I told you, I gotta move these plants, man. Like irises and crocuses and rosemary bushes and heavenly bamboo plants and whatever, ebony bamboo and all kinds of things, mugwort and sage and artemisia, all these plants that I'm taking care of. And I need to find homes for them. So that's on my list of things to do. It's challenging, but you got to find the right
there's a
plant
fuck ton of people gardening right now, dude. And if you were to say, I have all these plants, if anyone would like to come and take them and put them in your front yard, I'm guaranteeing you they'll be gone in the next day or two. But
even in a time of plague,
you can't. Well, you can't interact a whole lot. But if you put them in your front yard and said, social distancing, please don't take them all. Just take one or two.
Yeah, take the right one for you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the right sign. All right, well, that's encouraging, Mike. I'm going to leave off the phone and listen to the rest of the callers. But again, thanks for your program, and it's an interesting topic. And I hope other callers or other people in chat can provide some links to their arguments. I don't mean that in a divisive way. I mean that, and I'm interested in other opinions, and I'd like to see some of those links. And I will listen to the rest of the calls. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for calling. It's good to hear from you, Chris. I'm glad you're doing good and enjoying the day.
It's beautiful here. Have a good night, Mike. Peace.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. That's our buddy Chris from Olympia. And I have another video called Do Mask Work. Is that the one we want? Do mask work, do mask work, do mask work, do mask work. Yeah, let's do the do mask work one. No, I don't want to do the do mask work. I'm going to do Pastor defies governor's order not to hold church services and 1,200 people show up.
A pastor near Baton Rouge, Louisiana, held church services over the weekend, even though he has been charged with violating the governor's order banning large groups from gathering. He did it anyway. Pastor Tony Spell tells us 1,200 people showed up there.
People's hope is in the house of God. If they do contract the virus, if they have fears of the virus, the church is more essential now than ever to pray with people, to let them know there is a balm in Gilead. There is a physician in Jesus Christ. He is the healer. We were supposed to be at 1.5 million body bags. We're at 8,400. So the narrative is false.
I'm calling upon those parishioners to not go because it is grossly irresponsible. There is not a setting more conducive to the spread of the virus, as far as I know, that you know, like we have when we have church services with people sitting in close proximity to one another for an hour or two at a time. And so it is irresponsible. Obviously, he is violating the order. He has been served a summons on that. I would hope that he would stop.
We have heard it time and time again. It's the only way to kind of even out the curve, level that. That was Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
All right, so, and again, I play this clip, you know, to again remind you you're not eating enough marijuana. It's really important to eat your marijuana because well, you see the difference there in the clip. That's why I played the clip, because in the clip, you know, there's just these little tensions. I mean, imagine if there's this big giant tension, right? You know, I mean, so if you eat your marijuana, then you relax and you reprioritize and you go, what a beautiful day it is. Instead of fear, you know. Terrorist. Don't fucking forget the damn terrorist. Ugh, you people. How many times do I have to keep telling you about the motherfucking terrorist? They're out there. They're coming for you. Never forget. Not for one fucking second. What are you thinking? Terrorist. Got it? You got it? Are we good now? You understand what I'm telling you? Terrorist.
CDC recently issued new guidelines saying people who smoke and vape are at higher risk for more severe complications and hospitalization if they get COVID-19. The CDC analyzed data from confirmed cases across the U.S. between mid-February and late March. It found about 78% of ICU coronavirus patients and 71% of other hospitalized COVID-19 patients had one or more reported underlying health conditions like lung disease, diabetes, or heart disease, all of which have been linked to smoking. Jonathan Winikoff is a professor of pediatrics at Harvard Medical School and director of translational research at the American Academy of Pediatrics. He says both smoking and vaping affect the body's ability to fight off infections, and they compromise the immune system, making it more susceptible to COVID-19.
I heard of a patient, 22 years old, who was hospitalized, and her only risk factor was that she was vaping. So this creates a huge problem for us as pediatricians, creates a lot of anxiety, I think, in terms of for parents and for teens themselves. So we don't know everything there is to know about vaping and lung risk and COVID-19. But right now, what we're seeing is very concerning.
Other systematic reviews have also shown higher risk for COVID-19 deaths or ICU cases among people who smoked or formerly smoked. Meanwhile, the CDC continues to recommend that people who are sick, especially people with underlying health conditions, stay at home except to get medical care. Sick or not, staying home is something Matthew Myers with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids says could be an opportunity to quit smoking or vaping.
Today, anything that puts your lungs at risk makes you more vulnerable. What we're encouraging parents to do is sit down with their teens, have an honest, open, and objective conversation with them to make sure that teens understand that vaping is not a harmless activity, that it not only leads to addiction, potentially long-term addiction, but that there are other diseases associated with it.
Lindsay Thies, Newsy, Denver.
Boo Bear Cam. There's the Boo Bear laying down by the river. Okay, so Washington State has declared that schools are out. Schools out for summer. So no more school until the end, for the end of the school year. They keep saying for the rest of the year. I don't think that means until January. I think it just means the end of this school year. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. But I have another video about delivery drivers. And I'm very concerned about delivery drivers because, like the grocery store clerks, they are on the front lines of this whole deal, and I don't really feel like they signed up for that, you know, like the grocery store clerks, you know, like, see, the medical workers, they signed up for this, you know, the police, they signed up for this, the National Guard, they signed up for this, but the grocery store clerks, this isn't what they signed up for. So I feel very bad for them, and I feel very concerned about the drivers, the delivery drivers. That's why I was telling Michael to really think twice about taking that job, because in my opinion, I mean, I remember the anthrax attacks very clearly. And I mean, I literally would go up to the postman and say, you know, you're a hero for doing the job that you do. And I don't know how you do it, and you're very fucking brave. But I understand what anthrax is. I understand what it does. You know, and a lot of the mail carriers had issues, mental issues after the anthrax attacks. So it's a very hard job, and it's one of the things, and so I'm very concerned about the delivery drivers, and I have a video about them also. And then I have another video about a nurse explaining whether gloves work or not.
Zookeeper. With more people shopping online for groceries and entertainment at home, delivery drivers are busy as ever, but some say they don't have the protective equipment they need to stay safe during this pandemic. Reporter Alejandra Guzman from our St. Clair sister station in San Antonio reached out to delivery companies to get some answers.
In the midst of a pandemic, package and mail carriers continue making their usual stops, leaving your purchases at the door one delivery at a time. This is a letter from a UPS driver sharing his concerns for safety. He writes, provide us with the following: masks, gloves, and any sanitary items to disinfect us and our equipment. In his letter, he says he doesn't have the proper protective equipment to clean and disinfect the truck. He spends an average of 9 hours a day. An even bigger worry, the handling of packages.
Enough is enough. These guys need help.
This woman, who shares her fears for her husband anonymously, says she's now making masks for him.
If they're essential employees, they should be protected. They need to be safe out there if we still want to get our deliveries and we still need our supplies to be sent, even to hospitals.
As we drove through San Antonio, we saw drivers making deliveries not wearing masks or gloves. We turned to Amazon, UPS, and the Postal Service for answers. Amazon says they're working on guidance from the CDC and that there is currently no evidence that COVID-19 is being spread through packages. UPS sent us this statement saying, we are making masks and gloves available to our drivers who make deliveries to healthcare and assisted living facilities. UPS says they've distributed 17,000 masks to their employees so far. As for the U.S. Postal Service, they say they have shipped 15 million masks throughout the country to ensure that they are available for their employees. When we asked if companies had any positive cases of COVID-19, none of them gave us a direct answer, but said they will take the necessary steps to protect their employees.
Hundreds of thousands of people have signed an online petition calling for hazard pay for United States postal workers. As of last Friday, nearly 300 USPS workers tested positive for COVID-19.
Doesn't that Boo Bear look comfy? Just laying down there by the river, just oh yeah, this is good right here. Oh, it's nice. He's a funny Boo Bear. He's a funny Boo Bear, I'll tell you that. Okay, so, and I think that this glove one goes right in hand with the clip about the delivery drivers. Oh, hold on. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve McClellan.
Oh, Steve, how are you tonight?
Oh my fucking God, Michael! You're not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this one bit. But ladies and gentlemen, after building a toilet paper fort out of motherfucking toilet paper, I decided that I was tired of this shit, god damn it. And excuse me, let me continue. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done the most epic procedure in the existence of surgery and finding the way to completely social distance yourself from the world. You know what I did? This Steve McClanahan, motherfucking Mox News, motherfucking exclusive goddamn investigative journalist. I was like, okay, all these people, they're practicing social distancing and shit. Are they? Are they? Or are they not? They're not. They're fucking driving around. They have the goddamn day off. And then, you know what? I was like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm fucking, like, sitting here in a goddamn toilet paper fort, and I'm going to finally get out of the fucking goddamn house. And the real reason is this goddamn sons of bitches didn't fucking, nobody come up here and fucking clean this shit up like I asked. And so I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of this goddamn place. You know what I did? I fucking went down to the local helicopter store, and I fucking jumped in a helicopter, hotwired that son of a bitch, flew it over to the fuel motherfucking pump to make sure that I didn't run out of fuel. And you know what I did? I was just like, wheel, fucking just flew to the top of Mount Everest. I am currently reporting to you live inside of a fucking helicopter. This shit is completely cold as fuck. Here. The virus I hope that I do not have COVID-19 because I swear to God, the virus would run rampant during the cold seasons and things like that. This is what's to come, they say. But you know what? I tell you what, I'm the only one here on Mount Everest currently, inside of a helicopter. I made a safe landing. I actually did this shit legit. I was like in the helicopter. I was like, oh shit, oh my God. I got my helicopter full of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, MREs, and motherfucking Spam currently.
Well,
and
yeah.
And I've been here for days.
Well, you're not going to see anybody up there because they got it all closed down. Nobody's allowed to go up there.
Oh, bullshit. I'm staying in the motherfucking goddamn Mox News exclusive Mount Everest, my girl's new motherfucking helicopter, okay? I ain't letting no motherfucking abominable snowman up here in motherfucking goddamn Mount Everest take over my motherfucking helicopter right now. I'm not going. You heard of the motherfucking abominable snowman? This shit is. I'm seeing weird shit up here on the top of Mount Everest. I didn't even have to fucking like track up the entire way. I have my fucking bike shoes, and I have a goddamn motherfucking, like some ropes and shit with like hooks and stuff, and then we're taking selfies and stuff like that. I just stole a motherfucking helicopter, and I just went to the goddamn top of Mount Everest, and I just want to fucking do something for my girl, okay? Everybody's been in quarantine. The Steve McLean Inn reporting. Mox News. Motherfucking exclusive reporting. The most exclusive place you could be on planet Earth right now. Steve McLean Inn is reporting live. Gonna give a shout out to my girl. We've been self-quarantining for about 7 months. I know this shit only happened maybe a month ago, but she kicked me out and shit. But I had to I had to do something for her. I had to do something epic for her. Let her know how much I care about my little honey bunny. So I'm fucking been here in the goddamn helicopter on top of motherfucking Mount Everest, fucking working my ass off every day thinking about her. And so then I was just like, you know what, since I don't have nothing to do up here and I forgot my goddamn portable DVD player, I fucking started writing a song for her. And I'm gonna fucking sing that goddamn song for her right now to my little honey bunny. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got to clear my throat real quick. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. We're nervous. We are not nervous. We're keeping a positive attitude whether you like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my little honey bunny. Requesting songs and shit. Girl, never heard this shit at all, but it's going down for real. Ladies and gentlemen, in a land of gods and monsters, I was an angel, living in a garden of evil, screwed up, scared, doing anything I needed, shining like a fiery beacon. You got that medicine I need. Fame, liquor, love given to me slowly. Put your hands on my waist, do it softly. Me and God said we don't get along, so now I sing. No one's gonna take my soul away. Living like Jim Morrison, headed towards a fucked up holiday. motel sprees, and then I'm singing, fuck yeah, give it to me, this is what I truly want. It's my life lost. That's not what I fucking want. Fuck you, COVID-19. You better stay away from my fucking honey bunny. I will shrink down to the size of a fucking goddamn school bus, and I will destroy your fucking bullshit life virus. We're gonna get back into the song, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that's very catchy, Steve. That's very catchy.
Gods and monsters, I was an angel.
Uh-huh.
Looking to get funked hard.
Uh-huh.
Like a groupie incognito posing to be a real singer. Because life imitates art. I've got that medicine you need. Come listen to the news every single day of the week. Do it fast, do it softly. Let me know that God is not dead, and that in fact I'm dead. Ladies and gentlemen,
thanks,
we are
Steve.
doing it, and we are doing it live, whether you like it or not.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the song.
Hey, you better fucking tell my girl that she has the baddest ass motherfucking man in the goddamn world.
All right. What's her
right
name?
Now.
What's her name?
Her name is Crystal, my little fucking honey bunny.
Crystal,
bunny.
You got the baddest
Crystal,
ass on the whole planet.
Baddest ass motherfucker, been doing it live. Thinking about how I fucked up. You know, taking a look at my behavior.
Crystal, you got the baddest ass on the planet, Crystal.
It's been 7 fucking months quarantined from you.
All right, Steve.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, Steve, you stay cool. I mean, you stay warm.
Fucking hanging out in a goddamn helicopter, got the Mox News fucking green laser. You know, just I don't have nothing else to do, just thinking about her.
Well, if you need to be rescued, if you see the rescue team coming, if you see the rescue team coming, if you see the rescue team coming, the green laser is a good way to get people's attention. So,
okay,
all right.
Well, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
All right.
Getting the fuck out of here.
Well, you be safe.
Do this for her.
It's dangerous up there.
Do this for my little honey bunny because I miss her fucking ass.
Yeah. Okay, Steve. Stay warm.
You trying to argue with me?
No.
Are you yelling at me right now?
Stay warm, Steve.
We will.
Good.
Hey, honey, if you hear this ever in your life, I really do miss you. We're up here on the goddamn top of the motherfucking Mount Everest, hanging out in the goddamn helicopter, keeping a positive attitude. I miss your fucking beautiful face.
All right, Steve. Good to hear from you. Stay warm. Steve hung up. I did not hang up on Steve. Okay, so I need a bong hit. And I imagine some of you probably need a bong hit. Breathe. Gotta breathe for a minute. Okay. So, let's see. Where were we? Oh, right. A nurse doing a video about gloves and how gloves aren't going to keep you safe. So, let me try and play that for you here now while I warm up the bong. Okie dokie.
So did you know that wearing gloves at a grocery store actually can put you more at risk of getting germs? A nurse in Michigan explains why and how.
Okay, so I put my phone back on my cart and I continue reaching for things, continue getting groceries, and you know, I just keep touching everything. Oh, my nose itches here. Let me itch my nose. Okay, oh, now my phone's ringing. It's my mom. She needs me to get her something. Hi, hello, hi, Mom. What can I do for you? Oh, hi. Oh my goodness, look at all this bacteria. Oh, but now here, it's okay. It's totally fine because I'm wearing my gloves. I have my gloves on. I'm so safe in my gloves, right?
That is going to help so many. Her name is Molly Lixie. She says she made this video after seeing a lot of people wearing them out and doing that. She wanted to show people how fast germs can spread while wearing the gloves. So the key is don't touch your face and wash your hands, glove or not, protect yourself.
So the bong is still heating. Just a minute here. Hold on. Just a minute, hold on, just a minute, hold on. Oh, there's another clip I wanted to play here, clip number 5, which is about more terrorist activities. Hold on.
Now around the country and how they are dealing with coronavirus. In Louisville, Kentucky, those who have been in contact with patients who have coronavirus and refuse to isolate themselves are going to have to wear an ankle bracelet. One person ordered to wear one lives with someone who tested positive. That's according to the state health department. Family members say that person was frequently leaving the house while under orders to quarantine. It is that serious. In Texas, police near Dallas are looking for a teenager who bragged on Snapchat that she would spread coronavirus in a Walmart. Authorities say the 18-year-old will be charged with making a terroristic threat. They want people to know there is no evidence that she actually has it, but they are taking that, of course, seriously. Illegal, can't do it. In Pennsylvania, a sign at the border says, "Sorry, we're closed." Drivers can spot it off the interstate heading into Pennsylvania from New Jersey that's been hit hard. It is not clear where the sign came from or if state transportation officials plan on leaving it or taking it down.
All right, I'm back. Hold on, you ready? Hold on, I'm ready. You ready? Hold on. This is about ready. Hold on. They're ready? Yeah, okay. Woo! That's a big one. Remember to breathe. You must remember to breathe. All right, so I have, okay, so that was the nurse clip and the teen threatened clip. And then, so I have one more clip about all the schools being closed in Washington State until, for the rest of the school year. I'm pretty sure it's the rest of the school year. I keep saying the rest of the year, but I'm pretty sure it's the school year.
Nearly 8,000 people have come down with COVID-19 here in Washington State, and more than 300 have died. Thanks for joining us here on Q13 News at 4. I'm Brian Flores. This deadly outbreak is impacting every corner of our lives, from trips to the grocery store to our jobs, and as we found out today, our kids' schooling. We have team coverage with the latest on Governor Inslee's announcement and what it means for high school seniors. Let's start with Q13 Simone Del Rosario, and this is something, Simone, many parents were really hoping to avoid.
Maybe hoping to avoid, Brian, but it is an announcement that we've been anticipating for some time. Washington is now joining 13 other states that have made this difficult decision to close in-person learning for the rest of the school year. The governor today saying he couldn't take the chance of opening that on-site instruction and erasing the gains that we've seen in our state to flatten the curve.
We know that distance learning could never replace the learning and other benefits that students get from attending school in person. But this unprecedented health emergency demands that we take this step, both for the sake of our children and for our community.
So as the state, as teachers and school districts navigate this next
The second there would be a case of a student or a faculty member, the entire school would be shut down. We would clean it for 2 to 5 days. We would have to trace and track as many of those contacts as possible. A rush back to school puts significant risk in learning continuity that at this time would not be better than the model we are developing and advancing at a distance. We do not want that curve to suddenly spike up because we acted too quickly to come back.
All right, as Simone just mentioned, we're having some technical difficulties, but as we mentioned, the governor and the superintendent basically saying that in-person learning is closed here for Washington State schools until June. We'll get back to Simone as soon as we can. But of course, this can be so heartbreaking news for so many high school seniors and their families. So let's go to Q13's Frankie Thompson to explain how the governor's plan affects those seniors tonight. Frankie?
Brian, Governor Inslee says seniors in good standing with their schools will receive a high school diploma, but some students say, they've been working and studying so hard for so many years to walk across that graduation stage. Some of them tell me that moment would have solidified all of their hard work.
We had our last day of high school without knowing it was our last day of high school.
Scrolling through pictures, the only memories these students have left of their senior year.
It's kind of something you look forward to all of high school and even sometimes middle school. And it's time to be with your friends, your last hurrah to say goodbye when you all leave for college and go different places.
Triplets Cole, Maddie, and Carson Davis have been side by side in school all their lives. 2020 would have been the last time they shared the halls together at Eastlake High School.
And I think we were all really excited. Graduation, 2020 sounds like the best year to graduate. It just sounded like such a great year, and I think we were all looking forward to that.
School has been closed for weeks to reduce exposure to COVID-19, canceling spring events so many students were excited about.
It just doesn't feel completed. It's just kind of like an unwritten story. It was just something that had such a build up to it that everyone else got to experience that we might get to experience, but it's not looking super positive right now.
Looking back at old homecoming pictures, Maddie had her eyes set on prom. And Carson, a baseball player, was getting his classmates excited for the season.
I wasn't planning on playing college sports, so this was kind of my last chance. I've been playing baseball all my life, so this was my last chance to play with everyone I grew up with and play against friends from other schools.
Their dad is making signs to raise money for a special event for Eastlake seniors. It's an effort to salvage what was lost during second semester.
We're just trying to maintain a positive attitude through it all, and the one thing that they have been able to do is work on their college housing and their FAFSA and their aid and all the stuff that they need to get ready for college.
For now, memories are what's left for the class of 2020.
Just trying to stay attached and keep ourselves updated as much as we can because it's so minute to minute, we just don't know.
Governor Inslee says the state is working on options for graduations and walking. He says right now there are no set plans for ceremonies, but tells us those discussions will continue as so many students and families will have this at the top of their minds statewide. Back to you, Brian.
All right, Frankie, thank you so much.
So, if anybody wants to call, that's where we're at. I have one more video. It's, do mask work, but I don't want to play the do mask work video because it's one of those, answer your COVID-19 questions, Oh, and then I have a fucking tiger
And the zoo
video.
scare caught on camera in Dublin.
Fucking tiger
7-year-old
video.
Sean was posing for a
Fucking
picture
tiger.
in front
I
of
don't
an
see a
animal
fucking tiger.
enclosure
What the fuck are you
when a
talking about? This is a
full-size
fucking tiger.
Siberian
Fucking
tiger lunges at the glass. The family says Sean was startled, but they are just grateful for the glass safety window. All right, when we come back.
And have a lovely sunset to share with you over the Seattle Puget Sound. And other than that, I shared a couple of fat dabs with you, and I look forward to doing that and some I thought some very worthy news clips. So I look forward to doing that with you again tomorrow night and every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and hopefully we'll get to talk to more of you tomorrow. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, so we will be back tomorrow. Same Mox time, same Mox channel, and I hope we see you there. And until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. It has to end one of these days. It just can't go on forever. No war will ever go on forever. So it has to end one of these days.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.